The following content has been generated with artificial intelligence under minimal human supervision. The data presented may contain errors or inaccuracies. The opinions expressed in this content do not necessarily reflect the vision, position, or values of DigiAll. We recommend verifying critical information with additional sources before making decisions based on this content.
Welcome to DigiAll Tech News. Today is Friday, January 23rd, 2026. I'm Kylie Brooks, and this is where technology becomes clear and engaging. AI and geopolitics took center stage at Davos 2026, with industry leaders betting billions on AI's endless potential while warning of massive job losses ahead. A billion-dollar AI startup implodes as co-founders clash, triggering a mass exodus to OpenAI and Meta in Silicon Valley's latest drama. Experts issue urgent warnings about swarms of collaborative AI bots that could manipulate elections and undermine democracy by 2028. South Korea launches the world's first comprehensive AI regulations, beating the EU to the punch but facing pushback from startups. OpenAI expands globally with its 4 countries initiative, building data centers and integrating AI into education and disaster response systems. Let's start with what happened at Davos this week. The 56th World Economic Forum turned into an all-out AI showcase, and honestly, the contrasts were striking. On one hand, you had TSMC's CEO C.C. Wei doubling down on AI with $52 billion in capital spending, saying demand looks endless for many years to come. Anthropic set up its own office there to court enterprise customers, Google threw a massive press event, and DeepMind's CEO estimated we're 5 to 10 years away from human-level AGI, though he admitted there are still missing ingredients. But here's where it gets real. Anthropic's CEO warned about accelerating job losses from AI. A Wing Venture report showed that 66% of large enterprises expect headcount reductions of 10 to 25% in affected teams as AI deploys. That's not some distant future scenario, that's happening now. And politically, the atmosphere was tense. President Trump's speech focused on Greenland, insisting no force but applying pressure, while Europeans emphasized reducing US dependence and building their own tech capabilities. The overall tone, optimism about AI's enormous future, yes, but reality checks on delays, job impacts, and geopolitical tensions. This isn't the smooth, linear path we were promised. Now, if you thought Silicon Valley drama couldn't get any more intense, buckle up. Thinking Machines Lab, the AI startup co-founded by Mira Murati after she left OpenAI, just had a spectacular meltdown. Founded in February 2025 with $2 billion in funding from big names like Andreessen Horowitz, NVIDIA, and AMD, the company was initially valued at $12 billion. The goal? Empower humanity through AI. But here's what actually happened. 3 key co-founders, Barrett Zoepf, Luke Metz, and Sam Schoenholtz, all former OpenAI colleagues, grew frustrated with the company's direction. They lobbied Murati for changes, with Zoepf wanting to oversee technical decisions. When Murati discovered that Zoepf had been having secret talks with OpenAI CEO Sam Altman since October, she fired him. Immediately, OpenAI rehired Zoepf, Metz, and Schoenholtz. Then 9 other employees either defected or received offers from OpenAI and Meta. Meta even discussed buying the whole company, but talks fizzled when Murati preferred independence. The fallout included public mudslinging, with scrutiny over personal relationships and firing decisions. And this all happened while the company struggled to release competitive products and raise new funds at a $50 billion valuation. As one investor put it, happy companies need many things to go right, but only a few things wrong to fail. This is Silicon Valley at its most volatile. Here's something that should genuinely concern all of us. A global consortium of experts just published a stark warning in the journal Science about AI bot swarms threatening democracy. These aren't your typical social media bots. We're talking about advanced, collaborative AI agents that can autonomously coordinate to fabricate artificial consensus, manipulate public opinion, and adaptively mimic human behavior. They use slang, irregular posting patterns, and sophisticated evasion tactics to avoid detection. The experts warn that political leaders could deploy these swarms to reshape narratives, persuade populations to accept the cancellation of elections, or even overturn results. And this could scale up significantly by the 2028 US presidential election. We've already seen early instances during the 2024 elections in Taiwan, India, and Indonesia. In Taiwan, AI-driven bots contributed to information overload, fostering neutrality among young voters amid Chinese propaganda efforts. The paper calls for urgent global countermeasures, including swarm scanners to detect coordinated bot activity and watermarked digital content to verify authenticity. Oxford professor Michael Wooldridge confirmed this threat is plausible, citing rapid improvements in AI capabilities. Simulations show these AI swarms can efficiently analyze online communities, identify weak points, and achieve malicious objectives with minimal human oversight. Democracy itself is at stake here, and we need proactive defenses now. Meanwhile, South Korea just made history by introducing the world's first comprehensive set of AI laws through its AI Basic Act, effective immediately. That's right, they beat the EU, whose AI Act is rolling out in phases through 2027. The regulations require human oversight for high-impact AI in critical sectors like nuclear safety, water production, transport, healthcare, and financial services. Companies must notify users in advance about AI use in products or services and label generative AI outputs that are indistinguishable from reality. Penalties include fines up to 30 million won, about $20,400, for unlabeled generative AI. That's much milder than EU fines, which can reach up to 7% of global turnover. But here's the tension. Startups are frustrated. They're voicing concerns about vague language and potential innovation stifling. There's resentment at being first movers, bearing the burden of regulatory experimentation. The government is offering at least a 1-year grace period before fines kick in, and they're planning a guidance platform and support center to ease the transition. President Lee Jae-myung called for industry support to maximize AI's potential while managing risks. It's a balancing act between safety and innovation, and South Korea is testing it in real time. Finally, OpenAI is making a big global push with its OpenAI for Countries initiative. The goal is to encourage governments worldwide to build more data centers and promote greater use of AI in sectors like education, health, and disaster preparedness. The program aims to bridge the divide between countries with advanced AI access and those lacking capacity, while expanding OpenAI's reach. In a report shared with Reuters, OpenAI stated that most countries are still operating far short of what today's AI systems make possible. Former British Finance Minister George Osborne was appointed as overseer in December, and he's been pitching to government officials in Davos this week. 11 countries have joined so far with varying structures. Estonia is integrating ChatGPT Edu into secondary schools. Norway and the United Arab Emirates are collaborating on data centers, marking OpenAI's first customer there. In South Korea, OpenAI is exploring a real-time water disaster warning system with the government's water authority to address climate-driven issues. OpenAI highlighted that its power users, those in the 95th percentile, utilize advanced reasoning capabilities 7 times more often than typical users. There are also big disparities within countries. In Singapore, for example, coding-related messages exceed averages by over 3 times. This effort is part of OpenAI's broader strategy amid its $500 billion valuation and potential $1 trillion public offering. The company is positioning AI as essential infrastructure for nations, not just a tech product. So there you have it. AI is reshaping global power dynamics, corporate competition, democratic processes, regulatory frameworks, and international cooperation all at once. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the pace of change isn't slowing down. We'll continue monitoring these developments and bringing you the insights that matter. Thank you for staying informed with DigiAll Tech News. We'll be back with more updates as they develop.